I am Sarah Hayes. I'm a Lead Occupational Therapist within the Neuropsychiatry service. There's a wonderful poem out there called The Crabbit Old Woman. It's written by an older lady who is in hospital, and it's enabling us as health professions to remember this particular individual, the fact that she lived, that she was a child, she had a family, she had a husband, and she's had grandchildren. And there she is at the end of her days, requiring full care for her complete self. And I think that the challenge that we have is to remember this person that is beneath the physical and the mental health and the cognitive impairment, to get to know who that person was underneath. It's a sense of personhood that is often referred to by Kitwood, and recognising that we need to get into the individual's world. The difficulty we have is when you have the cognitive and the communication impairment, getting in and understanding that person's world is the challenge. The complexities start with understanding the individual, but then as we get older, we know that our bodies become less robust from a physical perspective, and there are lots of barriers that our bodies give us to stop us from doing what it is that we want to do. So as an occupational therapist, what we might do is we are the ones that prescribe equipment for everyday living. So by that I'm talking about ensuring that the beds that our patients have are correct and can suit their needs, that if they need a wheelchair, that the wheelchair supports their posture, their ability then, if their posture is all correct, they will then be more able to sit and enjoy a meal. They will then be more able to sit and interact with the world around them. As an occupational therapist, I would use activity and occupation as a means to enable us to get to know the person. One of the key elements that is so powerful for us to use is community leave, is being able to take somebody even to our own cafe here and to sit down and to pass the time of day. Because by doing something like that, we often find that conversation flows a lot more so than if you are on the ward with them. I think the things that I most enjoy about the role would be about an example. You have somebody who, you have an individual who is unable to maintain their sitting posture. And so that means that they slump down, that slowly, bit by bit, their ability to be able to interact with the world around them is greatly disabled. And also when you have perhaps swallowing difficulties as well, you need to have that strong and upright posture to be able to do that. There is nothing more satisfying than going through a process with experts in posture, our knowledge as occupational therapists as to what the individual needs to do to interact with the world, to be measured up and to be fitted for a wheelchair that completely supports their posture, whether it be through their lower body, whether it be through their upper body and their arms. You get them sitting in that wheelchair, you get them sitting at a table, and their faces and their whole demeanour it changes because they can sit at a table and they can enjoy the meal that they have, or they can enjoy even watching television. And I think that's where the greatest joy, how we can use equipment to be able to promote how somebody interacts with the world around them. So I think, yes, there is a uniqueness about working with older adults. So as we grow, as we get older, our ability, our bodies don't work as well as they used to. Our minds sometimes don't work as well as they used to. So occupational therapy in many other aspects relates to looking at our ability to be able to learn how to adapt. So what we need to do is, particularly when you're working with those with the degenerative conditions such as dementia, is that we need to look at promoting or sustaining their level of ability for as long as possible. But how we do that is we compensate. So we look at how we can compensate for the way that the body and the mind is maybe going in a different direction. And that's, if you like, that is a key difference between the two. So that is why we would provide equipment for everyday living. That is why we would completely look at the environment around them and see how we can change that, rather than by looking to change the individual. For me, that is a very personal element, and that relates to we are so privileged to work with the patients that we work with. They come from all over the country, they come from all different backgrounds. The vast majority of the patients we work with have had some really, really tough lives. They've had some really very, very difficult things happen to them. And there's me as an occupational therapist being given the privilege to be able to work with them, to be able to understand what is most important to them and to be able to make it happen for them. So that's why St Andrews is very, very special to me.